Hi, I'm Kisha Parker, owner of Healing Pathways Counseling and Consulting LLC. She Rocks Property Solutions LLC. She Rocks Real Estate LLC. And She Rocks Luxury Housing. I'm here to talk with you today about the legal and financial aspects of starting a business. The second video that I'm going to talk with you on is about understanding financing options and sources of capital. One of the first things I want to say is after you have filed your business with your Secretary of State in the state that you want to do business in, or the state you want to file it in, because that may be different, and you have contacted the IRS to obtain an EIN number, the next thing you want to do is apply for a Duns and Bradstreet number. I wish someone had told me this. I didn't do it till years later after I started my first business. A Duns and Bradstreet number is basically a social security number for credit. So to establish business credit. And your EIN number is your social security number for taxes. So they're not the same numbers like they would be for a human being, for a person, an American citizen anyway. They're two different numbers. They have two different purposes. One is for credit. That's your Duns and Bradstreet number to track your credit, to establish your credit, all of that. And the other is for taxes, to track you in paying taxes. So get your Duns and Bradstreet number, set it up right after you do everything else with the IRS and all of that, so you can start establishing your credit. I cannot stress enough to have good personal credit. The higher, the closer to at least 700 you go, the better off you'll be at some financing options for your business. And I mean, gone are the days of being able to establish business credit without a personal guarantee. I think 2008, 2009 did that for us. So you're going to most likely, more than likely, you're going to need to personally guarantee your whatever types of loans or credit you want to establish with your business. Somebody's going to have to. Somebody somewhere within your business structure is going to have some decent credit. If you do not, if you have no credit or you don't have the greatest credit, that doesn't mean that you're just out. That doesn't mean you can't do this, but it's going to take you some more time, okay? You're going to have to go through a series of some more steps. One of the ways you can do that, especially if you have a not-for-profit, is fundraisers. You can simply raise capital. You can raise money. You can ask people to help you. If you have any savings of your own, if you've been saving for your business, or if you have a 401k, or you have any type of IRA whatsoever, you may be able to use some of that funding for your business as well. If you have investors who want to invest in your business, you tell them what you're trying to do and pitch it to them and see if they want to invest into it with some type of return, maybe with some interest or dividends on it, then that's another way of doing it as well. If you can't do any of those, what you might want to do is look into a Net 30 account. And basically what that is a trade line. Just like if you were to get a credit card with Delta Airlines, or if you were to get a credit card with MasterCard, if you were to get a line of credit with KeyBank, those are all trade lines. They are lines of credit that report to your Social Security or your credit history account. So it would be the same way if you were to do it personally or if you were to do it via your business. What Net 30 accounts do is allow you to set up a trade line with the company, and you say, I'm going to purchase this product from this company and pay it off within 30 days. So you can do that with Quill. There's one called Quill. There's one called Uline. So like if you purchase some trash bags from Uline, they'll let you get them, and maybe in 60 days, maybe say it costs $60 to do that. Sorry, not 60 days. It costs $60 to purchase these trash bags. As long as you pay off the loan or the debt, the $60 debt within 30 days, that's where the 30 comes from, Net 30. Then it reports to your credit bureau like you have had an open account and you paid it off within the 30-day timeline. And that is how you establish credit with a Duns and Bradstreet with your business. Okay, it's called a net 30 account. There are several of those that I can't even name them all. You can just get right online, look up net 30 accounts. Uline, I can tell you, is one of them. They sell like office supplies and that sort of thing. You may have to buy something you don't need, trash bags or a chair or a rug or something. I'm sure you can find something because they have a big fat book of stuff that you can purchase. Just get something you can pay off within 30 days. You may want to do 2 or 3 of those, 2 or 3 different companies, net 30 companies, and that can establish some credit for you. I do know that Navy Federal has some different loans, and I'm not going to try to advertise for them, so I won't go through what all of those are, but they have some different programs that may be different from a traditional banking system, just because they are with the federal government, and there's some funding that they kind of have to get rid of and help people with for business loans and that sort of thing. So you might want to look into that, especially if you have a decent personal credit score. So another one is Capital on Tap. They offer business funding if you do have to personally guarantee it, I do believe. But if you have a pretty decent credit score around 650, 680, you might be able to secure some business funding from them, either a line of credit or a credit card. Same thing with Navy Federal. The other one is the SBA, the Small Business Administration. I think most of their programs, most of their loans have to be personally guaranteed. You have to have decent credit for those, 650, 680, somewhere around in there, and they're able to help you secure some loans, secure some funding. They may even know of some grants, which is another financing opportunity, or another way to secure some capital, some finances, so that you can get started. That is the Small Business Administration. I know that for all the COVID funding and all that stuff is over with, but I do know when you have a business and things like that come up, disasters and things of that nature, the SBA kicks in, which is part of the federal government, kicks in for you and helps you with different programs and things of that nature. So that is another route that you may want to go to, secure some funding for yourself. Again, grants. Get on your government's website in your state. Find out what the programs are that are out there for the services that you want to provide. If you do not know how to write grants, either go to your local library, purchase some books, enroll in a program at a local state college, university, or what have you, or find someone who knows how to do that, who has experience in grant writing and being successful at it, and find out what their price is and see if you have enough to either pay them their price, or some of them may even allow you to pay them after the funding has been secure, or write their amount that they're going to be due into the grant proposal. So find somebody who knows how to do that. That could be very beneficial to you, because grants are funds that you do not have to pay back. I know United Way and Lilly Endowment is a couple of those places where there are grants available, depending on what services you're trying to provide, especially if it's for the community, social service, stuff like that. But do secure grants. Those are funds that you do not have to pay back. So again, I'm going to just reiterate, because no one told me. I wish somebody had told me. Get your Duns and Bradstreet number. Get right on the website and apply for it after you obtain your EIN number from the IRS. Because the IRS, that's your Social Security number for taxes. Well, for credit, for establishing credit, for tracking credit, get your Duns and Bradstreet number. One of the ways you could track all of this is with Experian Credit. They have a separate credit history account that is for your business, and I do believe they use your Duns and Bradstreet. That's why you need to get it. They use your Duns and Bradstreet number, and you can track what's going on with your credit as far as Experian is concerned through their website. And they'll send you different alerts and different things like that once a month to your email to give you an idea, a snapshot of what's going on with your business credit, okay? So that's Experian. There's another one called NAV Technologies, NAV Technologies, and you can get on there and set up all your stuff. Even if you have multiple businesses, put them all on there by their Duns and Bradstreet number. Make sure your addresses and stuff are correct on there, because if you go to apply for a loan, you go to apply for anything that involves credit, even a lease on a rental space or something like that. If the address of your business is not recorded correctly across everything, your Duns and Bradstreet number, whatever it is they use to look it up, the lenders or whatever, Experian, all of those, is going to look like either your business is invalid or there's a problem with your credit history just because the address is wrong. It has nothing to do necessarily with your spending or your ability to pay stuff back or whatever. It is because the address is wrong. They will deny your application just because they can't track the address. So make sure, and this is how you make sure. You know, NAV Technologies, and make sure you have this in your system on your desktop or whatever, so that you can go in and track what's going on. NAV will also send you an email every month, just like Experian, and I believe NAV delivers 3 scores for you. So it'll take your personal credit history and actually combine that with your business credit and kind of give you a score on that. And then you also, and it tells you how close or how likely you would be to obtain credit from somewhere if you applied based upon that particular score. And it also tells you what your address is or how it's recorded, how it's being tracked according to businesses you may want to apply for credit from. It'll show you right there. So you do want something that you can look at that will tell you what's going on with your business credit. You want a way to track this. I did not have that. I don't even think NAV was. It's been so long since I started business, about 15, 16 years ago. I don't even know if it was out at the time. But there are some new technologies, some new tools out that are available to you right now for you to be able to track your business credit, for you to establish business credit, and for you to be successful in obtaining funding. So I will tell you this one secret. Shh, don't tell anybody else. If you say that you are the purpose, because they're going to always ask you what the purpose is. If you're asking for money, they're going to want to know why you're asking for money. If you say that you need this money to expand business, whether it's via marketing or to purchase a new building or to purchase tools so that you can do more work, and I'm not telling you to lie, this needs to be true. If you say that, because there could be multiple reasons why you need it, but if you say at least this, because you may need funding for marketing and that sort of thing to expand the business, and you may need funding for some other things too. But if you say that you are expanding, they like to see that. I will just tell you that right now. They like to see that you are obtaining more business, you plan to earn more money, and you are more likely to obtain the funding that you are looking for, you're asking for. Also, if you are able to prove to them that you're bringing in money. Your credit history is important, but you have to be able to show from bank statements or what have you, most of the time, unless you're just brand new at getting started, and then the SBA can help you figure out how to do that. But if you show them via bank statements, your tax returns and that sort of thing, that you're actually able to earn money to pay this loan or line of credit off or what have you, then you're more likely to obtain some funding as well, even if you don't have the greatest credit. Also, with your proof of income or what have you, keep your taxes and stuff together. Use mint.com. Use the apps that they have for you to be able to track stuff, keep receipts of things and that sort of thing, so that when it comes time to file taxes, you're not up a creek somewhere trying to chase down all these receipts. And keep your stuff active, keep your stuff accurate and up to date, because a lot of these companies are going to ask for the last 2 years of your tax returns in order for them to lend you money. And keep in mind, whatever you write off is technically something they're not counting as you having earned. They've changed things since like 2008, 2009. So they're going to take the average of whatever you've earned in the last 2 years on your tax returns that they may ask for profit and loss statements, but usually they ask for 2 years of tax return, and they're gonna take that and look at it, and that is how they're gonna determine what your income is, unless they're a company that uses bank statements, and some do, some don't. So it's better to keep those tax returns up to date, okay? And even with taxes, make sure you're saving back a quarter of your income, so that you can pay that every quarter to the IRS. As far as your finances are concerned, you do not want to get behind with the IRS. It just snowballs into a bigger thing, and it's a bigger headache, and it's hard to dig yourself out of this hole. So don't do that, okay? This is the video on finances. I hope it's been helpful to you, all right?